Hi, welcome to This Was a Star Wars Podcast. I'm Mike LeBois. Nikki and Mickett will be joining me shortly. I'm recording this on Wednesday, August 25th, day of release, actually, to let you guys know that this is one of the older episodes that we recorded before we started the last few. The Loki episode and Suicide Squad episodes were recorded more recently than the last episode that we are releasing today. Today's episode is on Lord of the Rings. We went on some massive tangents in this one initially and ended up editing down to a much more reasonable size. This original episode is almost 2 hours long. Got it down to under an hour for you guys today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show that Nikki, Mickett, and I bring to you. This was a Star Wars podcast.
I was getting my back tattooed, and he was doing some color, and I have to be like on the bed and like my face in the little hole in the thing.
Right.
And this other guy was getting tattooed, and then they started talking about Mortal Kombat. They're like, "Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't know if that was good." About like 10 minutes later, they switched on to another topic. The guy takes a break, and I kind of just get up and think like, I want to go back to 10 minutes when you guys were talking about Mortal Kombat, just to tell him how much I hated it and how much I hated Cole Young. And then to put my face back in the hole, I'm like, yeah, it was terrible.
I think more important was your back piece a piece of Cole Young?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, I figured. Yeah.
But this piece, Goro kills him.
Respect. Okay.
Fucking killed Goro, killed by Cole Young? No. Oh, sorry.
You know what? I'm leaving that in. That's how we're going to start the Lord of the Rings episode.
No, leave it in.
Just Nikki's diatribe about hating Cole Young is the way it should start.
Goro, Cole Young.
Ah!
Yeah.
I mean, that's a perfect segue into him putting the ring on. Like Nikki putting the ring on, trying to make himself disappear from Cole Young.
Yeah. Just get me out of this room that's playing Mortal Kombat.
Oh man. So how were you guys introduced to the Lord of the Rings? Did any of you actually read the books? Was it The Hobbit? How did it begin for you gentlemen?
Ooh, The Hobbit. The Hobbit 100%. I didn't even know Lord of the Rings. This is going to sound really weird, but I didn't know that it existed for the longest time. And I only had ever seen The Hobbit. And it was like one of my favorite things. And then when someone was like, "Oh yeah, have you read Lord of the Rings?" And I was like, "There's more to this." Oh. Yeah, so I was all about The Hobbit and all that, especially the cartoon movie back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but
yeah, that shit was dark.
Yeah.
That's actually my introduction, was the old cartoon Hobbit. And I remember I used to watch it all the time when I was younger, because it came out in what, 82, 83, 84, something like that?
Yeah.
And I remember the scene with him and Gollum, just like on a rock in the cave. And I don't remember the movie, nowadays, but like I just remember that one scene, how I was always like very interested in it and creeped out at the same time. And The Hobbit was my jam. And again, like Mickey, like I had no idea that Lord of the Rings was part of that.
So
yeah.
I was introduced to The Hobbit first, but I was introduced to the book because my dad had like a third edition, I think. It's either my mom or my dad. More likely my mom, because I don't think my dad's ever read a book until about 10 years ago. So I'm pretty sure that's the way it is.
Yeah. I'm in a book club. What are you talking about? I'm a man. He says wearing all hockey gear, excited for game 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. The night of this recording. Anyway, but yes, that was my introduction to it, was reading that and kind of being interested in that, and then learning more about the Lord of the Rings books. I read them in high school, and then the movies were coming out. So then I saw those. I actually have only seen the first Hobbit movie, but I've read the books, and I heard that the other movies are fantastic. So that's a fail on my part for not watching them over the 2 weeks that we've been talking about this. But at the same time, I had to finish something else for another episode that we're going to do. So yeah.
Hey, that reminds me. Have you guys seen the thing they put up online where it's like orcs if they had regular voices?
Oh my God,
No, but I'm very interested now.
They'll do things like, what is that? They're hobbits. Let's eat them. It's like super.
It sounds so anticlimactic from start to finish. To battle.
Like, here we go.
One of them was like, I smell man flesh. And I was like, that's the fucking one right there.
Yeah. All right. I smell man flesh.
Yeah.
Sounding like Ned Flanders. Oh man. Oh shit. Do you have a most hated character? Character that you're just like, why are you here?
Yeah, mine is probably Frodo's other Hobbit boys.
Merry, Pippin, and Sam?
Honest. Yeah. Unpopular opinion. But then again, I was never a big Lord of the Rings person. I liked it, but those little guys just seem annoying. I was more like the human warrior who's like, these fucking hobbits out of here, like this man work, man job.
This is man work.
Am I a toxic male in the fantasy world?
You know what's funny though, Nikki, is when you get real drunk, you become Merry, Pippin, and Sam all together.
Oh.
You start running around.
The worst part is I believe it.
You're like, secondsies, luncheon? Do you guys want another drink? Why are we not cooking tomatoes right now?
That does sound like me.
What do you mean he hasn't heard of second breakfast? Has he heard of elevensies?
I am very well. You know what? Maybe they're not my most hated characters. Because once you said second breakfast, I'm like, yeah, maybe I do have more in common with them than I thought.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like there's any that I genuinely am just like, no, we could have lived without this.
And I think that's the tough part about asking that question, because unlike the previous conversation about characters such as Cole Young, I feel like every character plays a role within the story, like an important role. Because, Merry and Pippin may not seem like they're much for the Fellowship, but they keep everyone's spirits high because they're always cracking a joke or being serious, unless the situation is super serious, and then they are terrified.
See?
He right. Make it right. If Mickey was a direction, he would be right.
Actually, I can think of two characters that it's not like I wouldn't want them in the movie because, like you said, they have their purpose. Right. But two characters when I was watching it, I was like, God, I hate you. I hope you get killed by something in this movie. And it was what's the greasy raven snake guy? He works for. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who plays him, because that would help me.
He's got that greasy.
He works for Sauron. In Sauron. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
And the whole time I was just like, God, I hope you fall into a pit somewhere. and just get left there for a long time.
The guy who seems like he's like withdrawing from like methadone or heroin or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know exactly who we're
I know
talking
you're talking about. Withdrawal Willie, I think his name is.
Oh man.
I wasn't gonna say loud, but you know.
Oh, I wasn't gonna go that far, but thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, old Sid Vicious over there. Yeah, I remember him. I mean, he just looks like he constantly just jumped in a pool, and now he's just like chilling in dry clothes for some reason.
He looks like he just evaded the cops like every time you see him.
Yeah, he looks exhausted every time.
Yeah.
Speaking of, he looks like he just watched an episode of Cops.
Oh man. Yeah, again, you're not wrong. That's another one of those situations where you're not wrong.
Did you find his?
I'm still trying to find him. I'm trying to go this time through IMDb through pictures, because I feel like if I can find his picture, I'll be like, that guy. But I don't know his name, so it's making it difficult.
Okay, so
Sweaty Sam, Greasy Gary.
Crazy Gary.
while you're looking for
Willie.
the other
Sorry.
guy that I didn't really care for was Boromir's dad, the king.
Oh, because he was drained of his life force for the entire duration of the film.
No, it wasn't, because he was just like a weird guy, right? Like he was like obsessed with one of his sons, and then his other son was a complete ear because he wasn't the other son. Like,
Oh yeah.
like I hated that. That was such a, and it was like, yo, Homo's not even dead. You just want to light him on fire. I don't know what that's about. Like, that's messed up.
I mean, entertainment was a lot more scarce back in the day, you know, especially in fantasy worlds.
We have soaps, they have burnings. It just
Yeah. You sure you didn't want to like check out Instagram or something? No, burn your son. Okay, all right. Fair. Hey, you're king. You're king.
Can you imagine, say, Instagram, like back in the day, it would be a scroll with like words that explained the picture, and you just like, oh, okay.
How can I double tap that? Oh, hey, you're like this. Oh, another full in it.
Oh.
So they were dancing like what? And it was funny? Okay, all right, I see that.
Oh, I see.
You just imagine somebody sitting there with their scroll, like, oh, silly John. I haven't seen you so your life is so crazy now.
What about this? How many people from the MCU are in the Lord of the Rings Hobbit saga?
Oh my gosh. I know of one at least that I just saw, which was not Keith Urban. The guy from The Boys. Carl Urban.
Does that count as the MCU? No.
He's in Thor, bro.
Well, yeah, but are you attaching?
Oh my
Thor.
God, that's right. He is in Thor.
Yeah, I was saying he's in the Thor. He's technically part of the MCU, so he's in the Thor
Wait, which guy
universe.
was
He was Hela's like primary henchman who turns.
Oh. Wait, and who does he play in The Hobbit?
Hold on, because he's Eomor, Eomer, excuse me, Eomer in Two Towers and Fellowship.
The Riders of Rohan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, he looks so different. I didn't even
That's
think about
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I didn't put that together. That was him in Thor. Like, I'm tripping out on that.
Because he went from having a shaved head with these tattoos to like the long, luxurious hair, and like, I'm on a horse.
I'm on a horse.
I call him Des and Troy.
That's so
you got
crazy.
that. You got the Wasp. Wasp was in the Hobbit movies.
Who did she play in the Hobbit movies?
She was Legolas's love interest.
Wow.
Watch this. Apparently, I'm messing up right now.
Yeah, and then you got Strange as Smaug.
Oh yeah.
And then the dude who works for the U.S. government in Black Panther and Winter Soldier is
Andy Serkis is Gollum.
Andy Serkis. Gollum. God, that's 6 now. Right? 6?
Yes.
No, 5.
So the guy you're thinking of is Wormtongue. It's Brad Dourif.
Why am I not surprised that's his name? By the way, Nikki, refer to that other person from now on. It's also Wormtongue. So that's crazy. So Gollum looks so ridiculously different. Even when they did like the kind of recall back to before he was like Gollum.
Yeah.
He's so different from say like the MCU to Lord of the Rings. Like that's crazy because he's such like a he's Australian, right? In MCU.
Yeah. He plays the guns the smuggler, right?
Yeah. With cool arm thing. Remember?
Yes.
It was a weird way to like do that. It like splits open and it's like, you know.
Because Ultron ripped it off, huh?
Yeah.
That's right. It's crazy how many things Andy Serkis has actually been a part of. Like, and you never see his face. And then he's like the things you do see him in, you're like, oh my God, that's Andy Serkis. He was in a movie we were watching the other night. My girlfriend and I were watching the other night, and he's playing Alfred in the Batman. He's going to be Rob Pattinson's Alfred.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't he directing Venom 2 also?
Really?
I believe so.
Hold on. Director. Holy shit. Nikki wins again. You dunked on everybody, bro. Directed Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
I can't fucking wait for Carnage. I can't wait. Sorry. Go on.
That's gonna be interesting.
That's gonna be nuts.
What are some stuff that he's directed before?
So his short list of directors, he's got 5 credits. Heavenly Sword, the video game. He's a dramatic director.
Oh.
Breathe. I don't know what that is. It's from 2017.
It's when you exhale.
Yeah, In and Out. With Andrew Garfield and Claire Foy and Tom Hollander as well. Interesting. Norrington for those of you who know him from the Pirates universe. And then he directed a TV movie called The Ruins of Empires, and then did Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, which I believe he was also a voice character in.
Was that was the
Netflix one. He was Baloo in that one, actually. Kate Blanchett was Kaa. Benedict Cumberbatch was Shere Khan.
Okay, yeah. That was like the live action one. That was like way more brutal than all the other Mowgli ones.
Right, because it was on Netflix and they let him have carte blanche.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's in.
I didn't watch that, but now I got it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was dark.
That's dope. I might have to watch that too because I didn't watch it. And then
it was like
Venom.
That was the first one where Shere Khan was very like, yo, I'm just here to eat kids. Like that's it. Like I'm not your friend in any way. Like I just want to eat you.
I just want to eat you.
That's it.
Okay.
And I think that whoever created him in the storybook world, when they're in their little rooms writing, I'm not going to wish bad things upon them, but if their bloodline stopped as well, I would still sleep like a baby. That's all.
Fair enough. Oh man.
So on the topic of Lord, I didn't know that there was like a big, I don't want to say legitimate, but like a big backstory religion for elves. And like, I just remember one time I was talking to my brother randomly about something, and he was like, "Hey, have you watched this 8-hour YouTube thing on the religion of elves and Lord of the Rings. And I was like, did you say 8 hours? And he's like, yeah, I watched the whole thing. And I was like, you should find other things to do. But no, is it? And apparently it's awesome. Like I need to watch it, but apparently it's really, really in depth and really amazing. So
That's insane. I'm gonna look it up while I'm saying this, but I think elves in general, like in this storyline, are kind of underplayed in a way, because I feel like they have so much more ability than they really allude to. Like the novels tend to talk more about Legolas and his like family line and how much they really impacted the entire world of Middle Earth. It's crazy.
yeah,
I like more about them because they have some pretty rad abilities, and just just watching him and because I haven't seen like Lord of the Rings, those three in a while. I gotta block Mickett's face. Let's have to see him laugh.
I don't know why when you said that. Remember in Starship Troopers when it's like, would you like to know more? Bling.
I would like to know more. Yes, I would.
I would like to know more.
There you go. But yeah, like because I haven't seen Lord of the Rings in a while. I was really trying to find it on one of these streamings, but it's not on. But Hobbit was, so I got to see Legolas in action in the Hobbit, and he's got some pretty Spider-Man-y moves at times.
Yeah.
Now, is that just him, or is that all elves, or is he very well trained? Or I mean, they all seem like that. Wasp was like that in the Hobbit too. I like how they don't get names; they still get their superhero name.
So elves are all that's just who they are. They age slowly. They are very, very powerful. And they're fleet of foot. They're very agile. They're very, very quick and quiet. That's something that you don't really think about too often. But no, they're very intense. Like they're some of my favorite characters in the whole story. Like Hugo Weaving in Liv Tyler's storyline, and like them trying to move to from Arendelle and get out away from the potential attacks from the orcs and everything is a very powerful storyline, because she's in love with a human, and it runs the risk of destroying everything that elven culture believes, which is nuts.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that they kind of show in the movies, like I really love that it's like, because I've been a dungeon master for D&D, like you get to see a lot of it in the movies, and you're just like, oh yeah, look at that. They did it. It's a real thing now. Also, I'm not 100% sure, but I could have sworn I remember reading something about the creation of orcs is like elves and goblins or something else weird, and that's how orcs came to be.
They are a crossbreed, I believe. You are correct.
Which, that must have been interesting. The first time someone saw orc and they're like, oh my god, do you just come out of the mud? What is that? And then he was like, and Skull Crush. Also, Michael, that reminds me, did you ever watch Kim Possible?
Yes.
You're like the hockey version of the computer guy right now.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Look it up.
Oh my god, yeah, look it up if you can. Oh my god, I had a huge crush on Christy Carlson Romano, so anything she was a part of, I watched religiously. Even Stevens was like one of my favorite shows.
I was gonna say,
How come Shia LaBeouf wasn't in the
LOTR?
How come Shia LaBeouf wasn't in any of the LOTR movies? How funny would that have been? Just do it. If he had been Samwise, how different would that movie have been? Throw it in Mount Doom. Just do it.
Like, just
Let's
give
get
it.
second breakfast. Just do it.
Or if Shia LaBeouf
Played who?
played Gandalf, they just
You
put a beard on.
shall not pass.
You will not do it.
That was ridiculous.
That's all I got for
man.
these jokes.
I respect it.
Oh,
It
okay,
works.
something I didn't know. Something I didn't know and I didn't notice until way later is in The Hobbit, when they end up killing the trolls and they end up, like, the sun comes and turns the, what's it called? In Lord of the Rings, they accidentally kind of camp out right there in between all of what's going on. And like you can see the trolls, and I was like, yo, you guys, this is some MCU shit. Like, come on, guys. You attached this too well.
Oh man.
With
Did either...
the main guy in Hobbit is Bilbo, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So was that the only adventure he's been on until like Lord of the Rings comes up, and he still has like the ring he stole from his one adventure, or has he been going on adventures this whole time?
I think that's his only one.
That the adventure of Bilbo is just the one, because it was like a lifetime. It was a long adventure, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
There is a book.
And how is
before...
Gandalf not going to notice that he had something?
I don't know.
Oh, before the Hobbit?
Yeah, it's called the Silmarillion. It's kind of how I believe it's how the hobbits were found to be in Middle Earth in the Shire.
You know, something somebody else was telling me once. This is something we're definitely have to look up, but like apparently the place that the elves go to, you know, when they're leaving, is supposed to be our world.
For real?
Supposed to be some kind of concept of that. This is something that I had heard through hearsay, but I was like, that's such a crazy concept, because technically they're Middle Earth. It's almost like a different plane of, say, like Thor's, you know, existence, where it's like Midgard and Valhalla, and there's all these different, you know, existences. Like they just take a boat and go to regular Earth, you know.
Interesting.
So if you find that out, I definitely want to know that, because that'd be such a crazy concept.
Would Midgard be like Middle Earth?
Yeah, Midgard is what Earth is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Middle Earth apparently is not Earth.
No, it's Elfenheim, which is an
Oh,
actual
well,
place in Norse mythology.
Oh shit!
Elfheim is an actual. Elfheim is an actual location in the Norse mythology. It's a land of immortality, if I'm not mistaken. So Valinor
Norse mythology
is crazy.
Okay, so if you guys were in Lord of the Rings, who do you want to be, and who do you think you'd actually be?
I want to be a really rad elf. I don't want a name that's already there. I want to be my own, like Nicholas. I was trying to put my name like Legolas, and it just was my real name anyway.
But it's the actual name.
Yeah. So it kind of works, but I definitely want to be an elf, dude. Because elves are like vampires in like horror movies. You know, they're like young looking. They're always hot and smoking. Everybody wants to do an elf. Everybody wants to do an elf.
You just, as an elf, you just travel into the room like, hello.
Yeah, and you always, you know, I'm too good for this, you know. It's always aristocratic, and I would like to be an elf. Instead of bows and arrows, I would have many of daggers.
Yeah,
that'd
be cool.
And just like an endless supply. Like, where do you keep those? Don't ask.
It's called my prison wallet.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're
man.
also
They're also pointy, yeah, and poisonous. Shit. But who
who do you
would you be?
Oh, but who would I actually be? Probably the drunk in the bar who's like telling stories to nobody. You know, like, yeah, I went on an adventure when I was younger, and I'm just talking to the door or the wall.
There, and then you're the guy
Somehow
that everyone
I find money
goes,
to buy ale.
yeah. Oh, there's Nick the drunkard telling his tales of yore.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I was on an adventure once. I went to a place called Mount Doom. You're like, Mount Doom hasn't existed in centuries. I know, I was an elf.
I was an elf. Like, Mountain Dew is a soda. You didn't go there. Nah, Baja Blast.
Baja Blast.
Code Red. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
To answer your first question, Mick, they went to Valinor, which is part of the fourth age of the Age of Man. But in the words of those who remained in Middle Earth were doomed to a slow decline until, in the words of Galadriel, they faded and became, quote, rustic folk of dell and cave. So, yeah.
Okay.
So they left to go find another land that was on the west of the Great Sea, as this location states in this article. And then they essentially, those who went to Valinor stood and became became the remained the same. The rest who stayed, I guess, faded into infamy is what that quote would mean. Rustic folk of dell and cave, as opposed to the aristocrats we know today. So,
wow. Okay.
interesting.
Well, on that note, who do you think you'd be? Who would?
So I think I would be one of the riders of Rodan. I think it would be fun to
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Because you stand for something you think you believe in. Like the value of being a rider is you're there to protect the citizens of the lands that you still occupy. And you have a code of honor if you're one of the good ones, like Boromir or the Ranger, even, because he's technically part of that family line. Begins Aragon later on. Viggo Mortensen for the Viggo Mortensen for you unwashed folk. Kidding.
What's that with the mallet and the balls that you play from the back of a horse?
Croquet. Oh, polo. Polo.
Is that polo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water polo.
Yeah. Polo by Ralph Lauren.
That's the one on
has the guy on the horse with the polo mallet. I had friends who lived in Polo Reserve that
and original polo shirts had that on there.
Yeah. And I had friends who lived in a subdivision of a neighborhood by our high school called the Polo Reserve, and they actually had a full polo field where all the people who had polo horses played polo, and we all drank Marco Polos while sitting in a pool.
We should start water polo. Seahorses, duh.
Oh yeah, good point. Oh, but who I actually would be is a hobbit.
A suffocated mind of a crotch.
I would be a nondescript hobbit
hobbit
who doesn't do anything fun. I just live in the Shire, smoke my tree weed. But I don't do any of that. I live in Colorado and I don't do any of that now. So why would I do it in the Shire? But no, I just think I would be a part of a community, wonderful community like the hobbits who are there for each other and then, hide stories of possessive rings from each other and just kind of have big, gigantic, hairy feet.
So you'd be a Proudfoot?
Yes, I would.
Nobody's gonna make the joke? Oh, come on, guys. I left that one open. Remember the movie? He's like Proudfoot. He's like proud feet.
Oh my God. Proud feet.
I'm still thinking that the character that you would want to be. I thought you were talking about the Ghost Kings when you put on the ring and they would come chase. I was like, oh, cool, but not those riders.
No, those are Death Stalkers. They have one of those cool Harry Potter like names.
Ring Wraiths.
Ring Wraiths. Thank you. Yes.
Ring Wraiths. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were gonna say Dementors. Your Harry Potter.
Dementors.
Yeah. You knew what I was thinking. You got me.
They're called Dementors.
Yeah, like it's a Death Stalker.
They're called Thanos and the Black Order, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So okay, if I could be anyone in Lord of the Rings, I would be Gandalf, 100%. Just running around with my cane, telling people to go on adventures, being like, "Do you guys want to smoke this? I might not smoke it, but I'm gonna get you high, I guess. Like, let's do this." You know? Do you want to risk your life for no reason just because I asked you to? Okay, here we go. I'm Gandalf. You know.
I could just see you as Gandalf. Do it, you won't.
Do it. You won't.
I feel like an adventure. Do it, you won't.
If you think about it, Gandalf is just an antagonist the whole movie. It's just like, don't do this. Oh, you should do this. It'd be rad if you did that.
It'd be
Honestly, if you
so
think about
dope.
it, Gandalf is Mickey.
You won't.
You won't. Or maybe he's really what's it? Saruman. Who's Christopher Lee?
Yeah, Saruman. Yeah.
Saruman.
Yeah, like you're in the same family, but you're actually evil.
I just give you the look all the time.
Yeah. I'm gonna monkey in the closet you on that one.
But who I think I'd actually be, to be honest, I'd probably be Gollum.
Because you would just get owned by the ring.
No, because when I'm naked and out of the shower, I look exactly like that.
Wow. And now I have an innie. Now I have 2 belly buttons.
Can you imagine? I had just gotten out of the shower, right? And I'm like,
I can see you drying yourself off.
yeah. Where's towel? My one, my precious.
They don't want us. They don't love us anymore.
You know what sucks is that, okay, so I'm in art history 101 in college right now, and I make jokes like this all the time, and nobody laughs. It's super sad.
Because you're all youngins.
Yeah, I mean, they're all younger than me, but like the teacher laughs sometimes, but then she realizes that she's a professor and she can't laugh at things, so like she just and back to our assignment. I'm like, I see you.
Are you the class clown?
I wasn't before, but for some reason now that I'm older, I'm going back to school. Yes, very much.
He's trying to. You're that. God dang it! Why can't I think of his name now? You're the Steve Buscemi. Hello, fellow kids. The Steve Buscemi beam.
That is pretty good.
I don't know why I laugh so hard at that. I feel dumb, but I'm trying to think of what else. I can't find this 8-hour one. If you can get the information from your brother, please let me know, because I would love to watch that. The longest one I've found so far is like 2.5 hours.
We should do a live stream of that while watching it, and I'll just talk about Cole Young.
I know we're here to watch this story about elves, but actually, Cole Young. Did either of you guys play any of the Shadow of Mordor games? Middle Earth, yes. Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War.
Yes, I did. I played the first one, and it was fantastic.
Dude, Celebrimbor is dope. He's such an asshole, but he's so much fun.
It was honestly, Shadow of Mordor was like playing Assassin's Creed if it didn't suck.
Yeah,
it's true. About Assassin's Creed, every time they make the game, they're like, hear me out. Why don't you sneak walk by somebody, hand stab someone, and then go up on a really tall thing and look out and they go, "Caw-caw!" And then that's pretty much the whole game. Right? And
Did you
Shadow
ever-
Mordor saw this and was like, yo, why don't we just do all of this, but then make 90% of the rest of the game cool shit? And I was like, oh, this is what we were missing. Wow, okay. Just play Shadow Mordor. Forget Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, if you haven't, Nikki, I suggest it, dude. It's awesome. The first one was really cool. The second one had a decent storyline, but the end game of the game made it way harder because it had like a tier system of orcs, and like you could create like a whole battle system where you force them to fight through the hierarchy, and you can actually like possess certain orcs, and if you get like your guy to the top of that tower, you control the entire army of orcs. It was really fucking cool.
That's pretty cool.
So like the concept of the game was that like you're this dude who his family gets killed, and then you possess like part of the soul of this ring wraith guy. Right?
Yeah.
And your part. Yeah, and like you can grab these orcs and goblins and like essentially take over their minds and make them do things that you wanted them to do. And you use this to make your way through this orc army to get to the leader who ended up killing your family in the first place.
Yep.
Oh wow, what's that on?
The original one was on PlayStation 4 and Xbox 360, but I'm sure you can probably back platform both of them right now.
He was like, well, I'm off to get it.
Yeah, I forgot I'm still on this thing.
He just turned it on. I was like,
real quick, Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor.
Yes, I believe so.
That's the
Shadow of Mordor should be the first one, and then the second one is Shadow of War.
Yeah, I played the first one. Yeah.
And the first one is the good one, right?
They're both good,
Yeah.
But Shadow of Mordor is better. Yes, better.
I feel like you just looked it up online. Is this one better? And it was like, yes. You're like, yes. It says.
The interesting thing is like the Lord of the Rings universe, as you can see by the fact that we've been able to go on all these different tangents, has kind of got its hands in everything. And that's one of those things that I've always really appreciated about it overall, is that it has been more of a fully functional franchise. You with the MCU, you have people who are just movies, you have people who are just comic books, you have people who are everything. You have the DC universe of people who are just Batman and just Superman, and then there's like everybody else. With Lord of the Rings, I don't feel like there's like, and this could be me being way out of line, I don't think there's anybody who's like factionized by just characters. You have like people who enjoy the films, people who enjoy the books, but there's nobody who's like, I love Legolas over Frodo. Fuck Frodo. He's a useless character. It's all about Legolas. Like I am with Superman and Batman. Like Batman rules. Superman sucks ass. He can die in every season of every episode of every movie of every TV show of every comic book, and I would be the happiest man alive. Fuck Superman. I said it on there. I'll say it again. Fuck Superman. But like I don't feel like there's that kind of division within like Lord of the Rings fandom or thought process.
So violent.
I remember when the movie first came out that there were a little bit of dedications to certain people. There was definitely a Legolas fan club, but there was never like a Gimli fan club like that. That didn't.
And my axe.
Although I enjoy his character for the sake of Indiana Jones, but that's it. You know, like I just want to see him be that guy some more.
Oh yeah.
You know what I noticed the rivalry was if you like Lord of the Rings, you couldn't like Harry Potter. And like that's how it was around here. Like it was either like, oh, I'm gonna go watch Lord of the Rings, and you're like, fuck Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. I'm like, I can watch both of them, right? I mean, they're two separate movies, but yeah, I can like more than one thing at a time, right? No, fuck me. I'm just gonna go jump off the bridge.
I always thought it would have been interesting if the concept of Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter were in the same universe.
Ooh.
They're just different times. That's it.
Like different ages. So like Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings is the first through fifth age, and then it transitions into wizards and muggles and more mudbloods in the Harry Potter modern age.
I mean, if you think about it, it's like a lot of the things that they deal with in Harry Potter, like even Dementors, like we've got ring wraiths. Like I don't see how we couldn't just attach those two things somehow, you know?
That's very true. It's very
This
true.
man speaks truths.
So maybe we're arguing about nothing and we're saying we're just watching two different times of the same concept.
True.
They're like, my time frame's better than yours. Fuck your time frame.
Right? They'll be like boomers.
It's like midnight in Paris. Like, I was born in the wrong era. I was supposed to be in the fourth age with Gandalf, not in this stupid wizards and hat sorting shit. Like, you know, people getting all butthurt about being born in the wrong time period.
Yeah. I always thought that was funny. Like someone's like, okay, boomer. I'm like, wait, boomer is the older one, right?
Yeah, we're all millennials, right?
Yeah, okay, that's not. I always thought like okay, boomer. I'm like, yeah, sorry for being older and smarter than you. My bad for not being stupid and young. Less life experiences.
I mean,
Excuse me
Gen
for
Z's,
living.
Gen Z's trying to cancel skinny jeans, so yeah.
Oh man, Gen Z is having a hard time doing this. That's every TikTok video. That or this.
I was oh, snap.
Or just awful lip syncing, like
I think Nikki's had a lot of practice at this.
God, I hate TikTok and all these fucking videos I see. Anyways, yeah, I look at it and I just wish I could just punch these people, being like, do something else for attention, please,
Nikki,
God.
just delete TikTok. Why are you watching it?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't have it. It's like they take their TikTok videos and put it on Reels on Instagram. Like I'm trying to look at Instagram things.
You know,
God, I hate it
if you
so
want,
much.
If you want, I just came up with this new thing. It's called Lord of the Rings Instagram, and it comes on a scroll, and you just read it.
It's got a lot of these.
It's gonna be
and
4
thous.
different pictures of somebody doing this.
Can you imagine? You pull up in the scroll, and it's like, and Cindy lip synced a part of the movie, and you're like, oh God, no.
or Declan is pointing out the 4 things that women like about him: his age, his sign, the color he likes, and the color of his eyes. Like, yeah. I agree. I have a TikTok mainly to just be able to stay up with all the stupid shit my friends talk about. But they're like, did you see this TikTok? I'm like, no. Why? Just look it up.
Yeah.
There's 27 bajillion things on this app. Like, no. I have a hard enough time. I will admit, though, there are some pretty amazing dancers on that shit. People who actually can dance, who aren't just doing.
That's the worst. It's
yeah.
like you're just trying to make your titties bounce. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, and when I am not, of statured weight, it happens to me too. So it's a big problem.
And then which I'm like, come on, you're 16. Nobody wants to see that. Like, not even 16-year-olds want to see that.
So hear me out. The people, good dancers on there, they were good dancers before TikTok.
Correct.
Right? And now has just funneled an outlet for where they can be seen, and it's almost like I hate it for the sense that, yes, it's just a regurgitation of Vine. We've done nothing different. But at the same sense, we've taken, say, like someone who is a fantastic dancer, or in Nikki's case, someone who's a great lip syncer, and we put them in a place where people who are mindlessly bored, right, and can just be like, oh yeah, look at that, they're great, yeah, I'm gonna like that. And then 100 billion other people who are also at jobs that they hate could be like, you are a great dancer, you know? So it's like, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It really, you know, I'm not a fan of it, but good for you. If you're making a fucking a heading with TikTok and somehow now you're famous from it, like you did it. It doesn't matter how you got there, but you got there, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. And you know, that's kind of what the whole thing is it's unfortunate that just thinking about it out loud in my head, it's unfortunate that it's like some sort of weird, like the idea of being famous for nothing is kind of what TikTok creates. But at the same time, if you have a talent and you're actually using it properly, then the device is being used properly. But Nikki has a good point too, because there are a lot of people who are just on there being like, I'm attractive. Look at me. I can pretend to lip sync to this scene from this movie that I've never seen because it's older than me.
So hear me out. What I
Just because he's right here, so I'm going.
Yeah.
what I think we should do then is that we should all lip sync a scene from Lord of the Rings and see how it does. If we get famous, right, then we just have to shut our mouths and just go with it, you know?
So are you saying
that's funny too, because like, go.
Are you saying that I need to make This Was a Star Wars Podcast TikTok channel, and then we have to figure out a way to sync up an opportunity for us to try and do a scene from Lord of the Rings?
Yep, we'll just do it.
I'd actually be down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm just gonna have a sign that says like, I hate TikTok. I'll oh, I had to take a second. But I want to go back. I want to go back too, because first off, I hate Cole Young. Secondly, I hate TikTok. And I want to go with, because Vine actually had some really awesome videos. I remember when Vine was happening, you would see a lot of really cool videos. The ratio of cool from Vine to the ratio from cool on TikTok, dude, worlds apart. Most of the shit I see off TikTok is just garbage. And it's a bunch of kids who I'm starting to realize think they're really funny, and they are not.
And it's not just kids who think they're really funny. It's people who think they're really funny. Comedians roast people on TikTok who think they're being funny, and it's what makes it funny.
I do need to see this then, because I do like watching people make fun of people who do not make me laugh.
Look at any major commentary YouTube channel, Crank Gameplays, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye. I'm giving guys who don't need any more promotion. Cinnamon Toast Ken. All those guys do great like TikTok react videos where they make fun of people trying to be funny. And it is
what a
best.
Great name.
Right?
Cinnamon Toast Ken. Dude, I started watching him. He does like react videos to some of the weirdest shit. And he's just this dude from Mississippi who is moving to Australia because his wife's from Australia. And so he's going to be like, how's it going, everybody? My name's Cinnamon Toast Ken. I'm live from Australia now, and it's weird. And it's like, he's just this down home dude from Mississippi who started a YouTube gaming channel like 5 years ago, converted to a commentary channel, and now has like 4 million subscribers and is fucking hysterical. And I watch his shit every single day.
Not to jump the rails again, but for breakfast, I actually had these banana cinnamon pancakes, and just because his name reminded me of how delicious they were, and they were fantastic. Fuck Cole Young.
Wow.
You know, I got a random question for you guys.
Okay.
That'll hopefully tie. Now that we've talked about, say, if Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings can be the same universe but in different times, do you think it would have went as well if, say, we replaced Frodo with Harry Potter and Harry Potter with Frodo?
I think they both carry the same kind of character arc, so it kind of makes sense. Like a meek, kind of wet behind the ears kid who doesn't really understand how important they are, has a group of friends who helps remind them their value and shows them their strength. And in turn, the characters they meet along the way help them achieve the goal of destroying the ultimate evil.
Wow.
I get in the similarities, but I think Harry replacing Frodo, it might have been a 2-part movie instead of a 3. So I think, Harry's got powers. Frodo's just got bare feet,
ring.
But yeah, and that's true.
Yeah.
Frodo did have a ring. As far as I know, pretty powerful ring.
The one to rule them all.
So then do you think, say, like, if Frodo was in Harry Potter, he would have been like, yo, I see the problem, put on the ring, stab Voldemort. We would have called it a day. It'd been like,
No, because Harry had that too with the cloak of invincibility.
yeah, but Harry was alive. And Frodo, although he is still very young, he's also very small and can get into little spaces that other people can't. I tried to think of, like, say, Voldemort versus Sauron. Like, I'm gonna have to say I'm a lot more afraid of Sauron than I am Voldemort.
Yeah, I
It
feel
might.
like,
They seem like their powers were a little bit more intense.
Yeah, that whole beginning, Lord of the Rings, when Sauron's fighting the army, he's just like 40 people, 30 people, and you're dead. And like so far, Voldemort's been like, I don't have a nose,
Yeah, Voldemort kind of seems more living up off his rep instead.
Yeah. He's like, I'm scary in theory, and Sauron was like, I just like to kill people. That's it. Like,
Yeah,
that's my.
and sorry,
but then again,
Sauron's scary
also
in
at the same time-
general.
True.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, like we never really got to see Voldemort in all his glory, but then again, Voldemort himself never released the Kraken, if you will.
That's true. Yeah, we never really saw Voldemort be like, I'm gonna do mass evil. It was like I was gonna try, and then I got stopped, and then I got split into all these different things, and then some kids killed me.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's the big part is like Voldemort had all these grandiose plans that he never got to put into action, whereas Sauron made the plans, put them into action, and was foiled after almost finding success versus getting foiled whilst trying to reanimate himself like Voldemort did every single time.
Although I will give it to both of them that even though they got quote unquote killed, right? They were both like, you know what? I'm dead, but I'm going to raise an army anyways, right? From the grave.
That's true.
With it. You know who else did that too? A little man by the name of Imps Palpatines.
Yeah.
But he was
But he was thwarted by his own
or
lineage.
some
So
sheaves. Yeah.
And that concludes this was supposed to be a Star Wars podcast.
that's a great ending. You just nailed it. Boom. Done. I'm cutting this part right here.
But at least for a while, old Sheev Palp actually won for the long time.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they had rule for a hot minute.
Yeah, he was doing pretty good in the sense of Sauron and Voldemort. It was like, we tried, and like Sauron got pretty close. He had to have the entire rest of like every race on that existence fight him for him to lose. But then still in the end, was like, well, I'll just raise another army, even though I don't have a body anymore. And Voldemort is.
Yeah. At the same time, too, Sauron had everybody on one planet against him.
That's true.
That's true. There was no intergalactic challenge there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So Palpatine's the ultimate badass.
Yep.
That's
So
Pretty
we got
much.
Voldemort less than Sauron, less than Palps.
Yeah.
All right.
Palpatine, ultimate badass. Cole Young, opposite end of the spectrum. I just had to throw him in there one more time. And if I could throw him into the freeway, even better.
not even a bad guy.
He is to me.
I think the new trend will be, starting with this episode, if you can fit in a Cole Young reference once in every episode from here on out, Nikki, we'll have to find some way to like get fans invested in that, to like figure out how you're going to tie it in. They're going to have to guess before the episode's released. How is Nikki going to tie in Cole Young into this episode?
It's like you killed Kenny, you bastards.